Hello, everyone. 30 seconds in the future from when I'm recording this. How are you all doing? I'm good. I am ready to write. I have been waiting for this. I feel like only working on this like once a week kind of means that I have a lot of time to think about what I want to do. Um, and then I have to resist the urge of doing all the brainstorming and trying to fix things. Um, so it's I'm ready and raring to go. But yeah, we'll see how things are. How are are you all doing well? Can you hear me okay as well? That's probably a good thing. Otherwise, I've just been chatting to myself, with no one hearing. We'll see how this goes. I've got the mic like really in front of me, but that means then like my keyboard is kind of obscured. So dodgy typos totally gonna happen. Yeah, so my plan for today's session, hello Corey, is to kind of fix chapter 3 as much as possible, based on the feedback from Drunk Claude. And then, if we have time, brainstorm chapter 4, get some rewards, get some juicy goss, bit of arguments, see how things are. I'm using the same document, Notion document, as last week's Write With Me. So I've just included everything. And I think it'll probably just be easier to have one document that all the process is happening. And so yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of editing. I need to reread the scene, familiarize myself with it, and I've got a plan of action. I'm gonna go through like just from the top, build it up, and use some text replacement prompts that Jean-Luc and I have been playing around with a bit, using some of the uber cool new presence that Space has given us and allowed us to have within the software. Namely, being able to generate sections. So if you have like 3 different options, you can then just have them in sections. You can like minimize them and they're all colored and it's very pretty and I like it. It makes my brain happy. Hello, Lindsay. Hello, Emery. Hope you're both doing well and gonna have a good writing session. Okay, so let's take a look see. We are on chapter 3. Yeah, so I wanted to start um with her delivering the radio. I kind of wanted to build up the atmosphere a little bit in this. So what I think I'm gonna do is some kind of like rephrase prompt. Um okay, as she travels from the help if I could spell, I told you. I used to be able to touch type. I need to get back into the habit of that if I'm going to have a mic blocking my view. Describe how the street changes travels from the district to the undercity. So I'm going to do for this like a rephrase prompt, I think. So this is kind of a bridging the gap. Let me just check what I've got. Okay, I don't think I've actually got the most recent prompt. So I'm going to quickly go and download that. Unless it's just called a different name, that might just be it. New group. Yeah, this is the one I want. I accidentally taking a screenshot. I'm just getting rid of the models that I don't use. 300. So this is the bit that pops it into sections. And then what was the bridging the gap? Has he updated that? Yeah, I'll look at that later. Okay. So then if I go to right, chapter 3. So I'm going to use the rephrase prompt, select all of this, and get... Huh. Okay, it's not doing it right. Ignore me that. Okay, so it wasn't the rephrase I wanted. I think it is just the bridging the gap. Oh, it's transitions. That's why. Okay. Okay, I'll try short and long. Okay, let's actually see them in action. Huh. Oh, okay. Sean Luke. Do I? Oh, there. Oh, yeah. We'll have to tell John Luke when he's back from work that he's put the wrong things in. Okay, and thankfully I can get all this back by going actions, scene contents, and 4 minutes ago. Oh, okay. Well, you know, if you're gonna push an update today, I'm not gonna complain. Let's just try one more time, and then if not, I'll do something different. Yeah. Okay. No, it's fine. We will get that fixed. Okay. Brilliant. Yeah, maybe it's like some prompts it's working because like it worked here, but it didn't work in the more complicated ones. As Delilah trudged from Genesis District's lush hydro gardens, the streets gradually lost their green sheen. Pristine walkways gave way to grimy alleys, the air thick with the stench of too many bodies crammed into too little space. Gleaming tech faded to rust and ruin, deeper she went, until the Undercity's oppressive gloom swallowed her whole. I think I prefer that, but I like that. Okay, amazing. So I'm deleting these two sections and then I will dissolve this one. Her pace quickened as she approached the centerpiece of the Undercity, the Perdition Colosseum. Even from a distance, the stench of blood and sweat assaulted her nostrils. The stench is used a lot. Or did I get rid of it? Okay. As her pace quickened as she approached the centerpiece of the Undercity, the Perdition Colosseum. Even from a distance, the stench of blood and sweat assaulted her nostrils. I want... Okay, Bar Bandit Barrack Wanker's whole affair reeked of desperation and depravity. As she hurried past, careful to keep to the shadows, Delilah wondered if anyone escaped the piss poor excuse for a prison. Um, Delilah hears a scurrying sound in beggars that she knows hang around in the area. Non reply. She bag tighter. Mm, 300, 150. Mm. I forget the Claude always kind of. Okay, change my beat. Okay. Something actually is a rat. And um um piss off, Delilah snarled, whirling around and jabbing the tosser. He shoved her, sending her stumbling back. Has she yelped? Someone's yelped before, I think. Um, and then Delilah takes the screwdriver and stabs it into the assailant. Howls. He rolls off of her, leaving the bag and flees. $300, I think. Um, okay, so I'm going to get rid of this. I think I might have Creole. The bag, and Delilah grabs the bag and another. A famous farmer and someone her sister talks about. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm working on. Okay, so I've done that. We're going to sort that out after the update. Doing the mention of Creole now. Creel says that Mara sent him to protect the device. She's Delilah's. This comforts Delilah, who doesn't want to feel babied. Um, are any of you working on any projects while you're here? While like you're just sitting and listening? She turns to ready to stab him too when her eyes landed on the face of her not rescuer. I mean, I just landed on his face, I guess. His face. The dim light caught the edges of promised. It is the only way home, the Bay of Scylla. Okay, that's just going to try that, but shorter. Oh, which prompts are you playing around with, Emery? Oh, nice. Playing with prompts, test them up. Yeah, I love like testing new prompts. Like, I think that's kind of like, you know how, or at least the way I can compare it is like in art, like the watercolor realm, and like I don't know, like in dressmaking and stuff. Collecting the paint or the fabric is an entirely different hobby to using them. And so I kind of feel like within the AI writing sphere, collecting and testing prompts and seeing what they can come up with is an entirely different hobby to like actually writing with them. And you know, yeah, I think it's always a lot of fun. Character chats and customizing some editing prompts to more suit your style. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think like sometimes it's hard to get the editing prompts to quite is my camera gonna like not if my camera could like not be a pain, that would be really appreciated. Thank you very much. Um yeah, no, I think sometimes like with the text replacement prompts, they can kind of go back to the default AI style if you're not kind of like if you've not got a strong voice or if like your voice is if you've not got a lot of like words back. Like one of the biggest changes you could try and make is just get it to read up more of the text to see if it can mimic your style a bit better. And that also depends on the model. Like obviously Sonnet 3.5 is like king of this, but you know, you could try different things. Everywhere else she has been. Um it's very annoying when it just like misses out the first bit of like your entire thing. Even just line editing slash review prompts, my writing style breaks some traditional grammar conventions, and I get tired of wading through all of the feedback that doesn't apply to me. Yeah, I can imagine that being really annoying when you're like, yes, I know I've done that. That's on purpose. Or something. As they approached the Rathskeller, the din of raucous laughter and clinking glasses spilled out onto the street. Creel pushed open the heavy wooden door and Delilah stepped inside. Her senses immediately assaulted by the tavern's atmosphere. Uh, her senses immediately assaulted. The air was thick with smoke and the pungent odor of cheap. Okay, let's not go for some therapy. I have made some drinks. And the pungent odor of geocore. Dim, flickering lights cast long shadows across the room, illuminating a motley assortment of patrons, grizzled labourers hunched over their drinks, while off-duty guards swapped bawdy stories in the corners. A group of scavengers huddled around a table, furtively examining what might look like pre-Silentium artifacts. Um, Delilah, uh, well, this is a different. Wait here. Keep your mouth shut. I'll find Mara. We don't. Um, Delilah, having not thought about what she'd have, um, she hasn't, ever since she stole some of Kira's, uh, alcohol stash when she was 13, and ended up incredibly sick. Kira has not left alcohol unattended. First time Delilah has been tempted to taste some. She orders the only drink she can think of, Archon's breath. The bartender is surprised but makes it for her. Describe how Delilah reacts as she tastes Archon's breath for the first time. So I was having like a little play around in preparation for this session because I couldn't resist. And I made two drinks for this society. So the first is Giacore, which is the kind of like, I guess like the vodka equivalent, but like a weaker vodka. So it's like drank more like a pint. And it's made from root vegetable peelings, so kind of similar to how like potatoes are used in vodka. And then mineral salt extracts from water are then infused into the liquid. So you get this like black gritty liquor with a really strong like aniseed taste or like bitter. And then Archon's breath is a clear, high proof spirit with a strong cinnamon and capsicum infusion. It leaves a burning sensation in the mouth and throat, and it's served in small, chilled metal cups to contrast with the heat. And of course, you know, it comes from a kind of the suggestion that the Archon's breath, their leader's breath, isn't particularly pleasant. So it's kind of like a. It's not a drink you would see in polite society. Oh, no, it had. Ugh, why did I stop that? Tut. Okay, I like that. Might get this. Filter geocore that stank. But don't go feet. The results in silence. She. Grammar conventions? Question mark. Do you have any context for the? Oh, it's for the previous message. Okay, and then I wanted to. Okay, I've done that. I've sorted that out. Will but the pub more. Okay, Delilah noticing that. Okay, right. Delilah, Mara. That is definitely a Kate written bit. Soft, like weirdly soft. That is a Kateism. Um, she could have been from the Arconical district, from the pretty way her lips curled around the command. Delilah perched on the edge of the seat, her fingers tightening around the strap of the satchel. I have something for you from Nicodemus. Mara's scarred lips quirked into what might have been a smile. I know. Did you have trouble getting here? Your lip is bleeding. Oh, shit. She jabbed at her lip, hand returning with a small blob of deep crimson. So I am. It'll heal. Very well. May I? Delilah extracted the radio from the satchel and slid it across the desk. Mara's expression was impassive as she ran her fingers over the device, but her touch was reverent. It's been years. Delilah shifted uncomfortably. So, about payment? Mara didn't look up. Payment's been settled. Nicodemus and I have an arrangement. Right, Delilah mumbled, feeling foolish. Nah. Right, Delilah mumbled. Of course Nicodemus would have sorted it out. He always did. She made a stand, eager to be done with this strange errand. When she noticed a scratching on she jerked her head. Nothing, everything. The radio. Delilah hovered over the journal. Her parents have been gone for almost 15 years now. Why would she? Watching Kira approached. And she slipped. Okay, I think that's my changes. I'm going to now drunk claude this. Scene context, scene 3. Okay, spent an hour editing. That's fair. Analysis. Have at it. So last time I had... Okay, well, I've not done that tension bit at the beginning of the scene, but what did I get last time? Let's have a look. A solid 5. Okay. Oh, I've got a 7 now. Oh. Okay, let's see what it says. Okay. No, that's fair. I completely agree with that. Oh, you're very welcome, Paul. Hope you're doing well. Improve the nutrition with the fight and the drink. She just comes off across as a bit too competent. In the last thing, it came across as she was too dumb. Oh, tense. How can I make Creel's appearance less convenient? It's like a bloody Turning Point buffet. Oh. It's so British. Like when I see this drunk Claude, like I think because it must have the novel language in, but like all of these like drunk bits, it feels very British to me. Like it feels like a bloke in a pub. Okay, now on to Creel. Its appearance is more convenient than finding a kebab shop at 3 a.m. after a night out. Okay, yes, definitely British. Oh, now I'm thinking. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, no, I think it must be because of the thing. Like, what kind of like does it feel like very different to then what you get SSN with the with like the slang that it uses? Maybe Creel is the doorman, and she has to convince him to let her in. Oh my. Oh wow, Claude is on fire. We need to drag this out like a footballer faking an injury. No, we've never seen that happen before, have we, guys? Okay. I mean, this could even end up being another chapter, to be fair. Okay. Um. Okay, so I've got some changes to make for next time. I'm happy enough with the scene to go forward. Because I want to kind of like have these sessions do a little bit of both. So I will go. Am I clicking? No, I'm not clicking on the right thing. No, I want to go to plan. Chapter 3. Well, if any of you are interested or actually read these, I'll include the new and improved chapter 3 there. Part 1, fixing chapter 3. Part 2, brainstorming chapter 4. Okay. Okay, so there's 2 scenes within this. So this scene, the first bit for this scene was stuff that we were kind of doing in the previous live stream, Saturday's live stream. He calls you sugar or says things like sloshes beer. Ah, excellent question, my dear. Let's dissect our darling disaster angel, shall we? Okay, interesting. Whereas I was like last. Okay. Oh, I am now like, oh my god, like, could we just see what, depending on the language, how the feedback delivers, like, differs. Okay, I'm going to first clone this and make this 1,000. 500. I'm just curious to see how far I can push this. It's probably going to be like way too much. Claude the Charmer. Yeah. 100% Claude is quite something. Okay. Oh, I should probably put, well, no, this first one, because it'll use the previous words, I will keep this as, and this should use the voice sheets in theory. Claude 3.5 Sonnet recently got double its context size. Yeah, well, that's why I thought, oh, I'm going to try it with like 1,500 words and see how it does. Because I've not really, there's like some guiding, but it's not like loads. But I thought, you know, oh, I'll try, see how it does. Let's first of all see how much we got. Okay, well, we got 677 words. That's kind of disappointing. Did I? Oh my god, I forgot to change it in the prompt. That's why. Oh, I'm such a dumbass. I bet one of you is going to have commented on it now. I forgot to change it in here. I'm an actual dumbass. Let's. So it did exactly what I told it to do, which was 600 words. I am a dumbass. A complete and utter. Okay, well, let's try that again. See if it actually works. Well, it's definitely taking longer. Oh, the things I'd, you know, if I'd been clever, I would have looked at that number first. The things I do for you. Hey, 1,400 words. 1,413 words. I'm really impressed. Like, that is, like, actually impressive. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Let's have a little ready. Delilah crouched by the door. Let's just get rid of that. Pressing her eye to the crack. The room to a crack. Um, the room was dimly lit, but she could just about see Kira, her sister's familiar form, pacing back and forth. The hulking figure, the hulking silhouette of Creel, not loomed. An older man she didn't know stood with his arms crossed, scowling at the others. Don't be daft, Oren, Drew piped up. We've got something better than pitchforks. Look, the new gadget, it's not just for communication. It can interface with the Hydrogarden systems. We could... Oh, come off it. Who's going to be spying on us in the bloody Rathskeller? You'd be surprised. Enough. We need to focus on the mission at hand. Right. The Hydrogardens. We go in, we nick what we need, and get out before anyone's the wiser. It's not that simple. We can't just nick it. We're not just nicking a few apples. We need to get our hands on the tech, the seeds. I know that, but if we don't do something soon, there won't be anyone left to save. Kira's right. Once we have the tech and the seeds, we can start growing our own food. We won't have to rely on the Hydrogardens anymore. Okay, I want to... From about here. Okay, so it has kind of like... Half of it was kind of like a bit of a... Not hallucination, but like it was continuing on the story, which is fair. I'm going to pin the 600 word version I had from before. Do a bit of kit bashing. The dorm. Delilah froze, waiting to see if anyone would come to the door. And do what? Steal a few vegetables. It's not worth the risk. Oh. Oh, am I gonna have to buy like an actual webcam rather than using my phone? That's really annoying. Um, yeah. It's not as if the well, then we can't hide an entire bloody farm. It's not as if the mm. Okay, wait. Okay, I'll just switch to the laptop webcam so it's not flickering around. Okay, we can't hide an entire bloody farm. It's not as if the lorries are even gonna get. Um, are gonna even notice. If you're going to. It's greenhorn. looking behind a stack of crates, just the door swung open and Kyo stormed out. She got a glimpse. Ooh, I think maybe some kind of mention of the previous. Okay. Okay, this can go down into there. Did I just copy it? Space. Did you know that if you drag a Codex edition into a different scene, it duplicates? Okay, so I'm going to add in a bit more. Oh, okay. Oh, that's fine. So more money. The older man Oren reports that um okay, I'll upvote the canny post. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, I mean, it's not that much of an issue to press delete. I just didn't know if you knew about it. We both do what it takes to survive. We are the same, you and I. They've already had the eavesdropping. Okay. I mean, it's a brief scene, part of the let's see what Drunk Lord thinks. Like, it's just there. Um, Someone on the Discord is asking about the relationship question from above. Let me have a look for that. I can't. I'll just be like, okay. Select AI analysis. Context, scene. Hopefully, Imagination is going to link me so I can find it easily because you're watching the live now. This one. Okay, watching the voice sheets video, great video. I do them, but I also started putting dialogue examples in my scene style guides, and that seems to work really well too. Also, you mentioned relationships in additions. So for Delilah and Kira, do you have a codex for their relationship and that's what you nest to each of them? Or do you do... So what I have for this imagination is I have my codex, and in it I mention that in Kira's one it mentions that it's Delilah's sister, just for the kind of the family relationship. But in terms of the voice sheets, I have for Kira, I just have her conversation with Delilah there straight away. But for Delilah's voice sheet, it's as an addition because her first interaction with Kira is later in the story. So rather than just having it straight away, I've just inserted it then. And if, say, their relationship changed or like how they spoke to each other changed, I would put it later. If that makes sense. If not, let me know. And I can try and answer it better. Okay, what's it going? Oh my god, a 2. Wow, that is brutal. Wow, okay. That's brutal. Right, let's go into this and have a look. Okay, let's go. Wow. Right. Oh my god, AI has never heard people speak. What a shock. And showed it on screen. Meh. Right, let's see. I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be like, oh, have them follow the rebels to do something. We move. I'm curious if you're on the same scene through Drunk Brock, what the difference would be. Is Drunk Brock your... Okay. I mean, I guess if I change the language to American, we could see what it says. Let me open a new chat. Prompts. Is Drunk Brock a... I think it was actually a prompt on the prompt share channel. Let me have a look. Brock drunk level analysis. Okay, I'm gonna try Brock. New from clipboard. I'm just gonna get rid of the novel language and see if scene selection have the same thing. All right, buckle up, Buttercup, because Brock Steele's about to take you on a wild ride through this literary clusterfuck you call Chapter 4, Scene 1. First off, let's talk genre. This little gem seems to be straddling the line between dystopian sci-fi and young adult rebel romance. It's like the Hunger Games had a drunken one-night stand with 1984 and forgot to use protection. The intention? Well, it's clearer than my piss after a heavy night of drinking that you're trying to set up some juicy rebellion drama and family conflict. Subtle as a sledgehammer to the nuts, but hey, who am I to judge? Now, let's dive into this cesspool of rebellion and family genre, shall we? Takes a swig from an imaginary beer bottle. Pacing. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, the pacing. It's like watching a sloth try to run a marathon while carrying a grand piano on its back. We start off with some private eavesdropping action, which is about as exciting as watching paint dry in slow motion. Then suddenly, bam, we're hit with an info dump that makes Wikipedia blush. It's like you're trying to force feed us exposition like Mother Bird regurgitating into our chicks' mouths. Gross, but oddly compelling. The flow? Well, it's about as slow as a cobblestone road during an earthquake. You got these characters yammering on about blackouts and rebellions like they're discussing weather over tea and crumpets. Then we get whiplash from all this back and forth bickering. It's like watching a tennis match. If that tennis ball was made of lead and the players were drunk octopi. Characters? Oh boy, where do I start? We got Kira, the hot-headed sister with all the subtlety of a rhino in a china shop. Then there's Creel, the voice of reason, who probably bench presses small cars for fun. Drew's the token geek, probably wet dreams about circuit boards. And let's not forget Aran, the grumpy old man who's seen some shit and isn't afraid to remind everyone of it every 5 seconds. And our protagonist, Delilah, she's about as proactive as a potato. She just sits there eavesdropping like it's an Olympic sport. I half expected to start taking notes or live tweeting the rebel meeting. Come on, give the girl some agency. Let her do something other than be a human tape recorder. Now, does this scene serve a purpose? Well, if you mean by purpose dump a metric ton of exposition on the reader's head, then yeah, it serves its purpose admirably. It's like you're trying to cram the entire Rebel manifesto in one conversation. Subtle as a brick through a window, but hey, at least we know what's going on now, sort of. Okay, wow, yeah. My god, this goes on and on and on. Is it a good continuation from previous chapters? Well, it's about as seamless as a patchwork quilt made from a drunken, blindfolded gorilla. We've gone from Delilah fixing power conduits to suddenly being knee-deep in rebel conspiracies. It's giving me whiplash worse than a roller coaster designed by a sadist. Hey, although American Brock did give me a higher score, so, you know. Look, sweetie, you got the bones of something interesting here, but right now it's about as subtle as a sledgehammer in the face and twice as painful. You need to flesh out these characters, give them some depth beyond their assigned rebel roles, and for the love of all that's holy, work on that pacing. It's more stop and go than rush hour traffic, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a drunk AI with a penchant for literature and liver made of pure titanium. Keep at it, kid. With a bit of polish, this could be the next big thing, or at least something that won't make readers want to gouge their eyes out with a rusty spoon. Cheers. Attempts to clink glasses with the screen. Wow. Wow, that was something. Corey. Yeah, that happened. I don't know. I don't quite know where that accent would be in America. It just reminds me of the latest Critical Role I was watching of the Candela, which was 1930s-esque. So, hope I didn't offend anyone there. But yeah, no, okay, yeah, so similar feedback. Basically, I'm doing a huge amount of info dumping, which looking back, yeah, I totally am. Okay, well, I mean, I didn't really have anything in there I didn't include. Yo, your info dumping. Yo, you're info dumping too much, Kate. Fix this for next time. And okay, in the last 15 minutes, is there anything that you guys would like to see me playing about with? Any prompts, anything? Just random. Let's see what the rest of ungrateful sod. Wow. But yeah, anything that you want me to play around with, I'm gonna completely redo this scene. I like that there's some like ideas in here. It's a good start. I'm just gonna, yeah, start from scratch, I think. Work out some beats. next week, I guess we can kind of go in rewriting chapter 4 just from scratch. I might rework the ending of this. I might move that into the beginning of here. Um, yeah, okay. I think this is this is the point where Kate is ready to log out and close up this brief write with me. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and I will see you on Saturday, where we're going to look at world building, but in the context of a location and building up a location. So we're going to do like, I'm just giving you a little sneak preview. Um, I'd love some ideas. So I've got 4 ideas for the thing. Either doing the Colosseum, the library, the Hydra Gardens, and the Archon's Palace. So if any of you have any preferences about what I cover, let me know. But